Does anyone with OCD just feel exhausted all the time? Like your brain is constantly focusing on other things that isn't normal. So like you feel like your brain never shuts off and it's always working overtime. I constantly feel exhausted.
That is definitely an extremely common, that is probably one of the most common symptoms, if you will, and complaints about OCD. And one of the reasons that we start to feel kind of hopeless, because we feel like every day is so exhausting. Am I going to have to deal with this every day? I can tell you that the amazing thing about ERP and treatment in general is that feedback loop and that cycle slows down. And it slows down considerably. And it slows down to a point where that constant cycle and the loudness of the OCD goes to a whisper, and you're able to put it in the background. I don't mean push it away, but I mean like put it in the background and be able to focus on other things. The thing is, when we haven't had treatment before, or we haven't had therapy before, and we're compulsing and we're enabling and we're reassuring and having people do that for us, that feeds the monster. So as long as OCD is being fed, that monster is going to be loud, it's going to be annoying, and it's going to be exhausting. And especially if the guttural reaction to any of it is push it away and make it go away, which, I don't want to get into the logistics of treatment, but you don't want to do that. Just like don't think of the pink elephant thinking of a pink elephant, right? So we don't want to push thoughts away. We don't want to try to get rid of feel. That's awesome. Oh, there you go. So the more we feed the OCD, the more we try to get rid of it, the louder and more obnoxious it gets, and it gets exhausting just trying to shut it off. What I can tell you is that with really embracing ERP, embracing treatment, that is not your life forever. It really isn't. And there's no time frame on how quickly treatment will work. I've seen people with really severe OCD get well really fast. And I've seen people with more mild OCD take longer. But the regardless is the treatment works. And I can tell you that my days, the majority of my days, are not filled with exhaustion from just constantly cycling intrusive thoughts that are just bombarding me constantly. That is not what every day looks like for me. And I know lots of people that are successfully managing OCD, that have had really good therapy, and that is not their days either. Not to say that I don't have days like that, but for sure, I live by, more good days than bad. That's what I try to do. If I can have 6 good days in a week and 1 bad day, that's a win for me. And so I really aim for that, because we can't go for perfect. So that's, and the other thing to keep in mind, and I think Patrick was alluding to this earlier, is OCD thoughts aren't any different from regular thoughts. OCD people don't have OCD thoughts, and non-OCD people have their own thoughts. Thoughts are thoughts are thoughts are thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, when I was driving into work every day and driving 3 hours a day, I contemplated at least 3 to 4 murders a day of just people who cut me off in traffic or various things. So, I'm either an awful, horrible person, or I just also experience intrusive thoughts as well, too. And the difference is that I look at them and go, okay. And someone with OCD, on the other hand, has to ascribe meaning to it, intent. What did it mean? Will I really do it now? And has to go through what you were saying earlier, that whole litany of questions that I must assess just to be sure that I don't now go do something about it.
Exactly. But I can tell you that the way through those thoughts and through that, the way past those thoughts and through that fatigue is go through the fire. Don't try to go around it. Don't try to push it out. You got to move through it. And when you do, it gets quiet real fast.